My name is Scotty Cameron. I am the master putter maker for Titleist. I like to be called putter maker. I am a metal worker, craftsman, specializing in putters. Well, the new Super Select came from, of course, Special Select. We got so much feedback from the tour and from guys, great players. And I look at this line like a 911 Porsche. I'm a car guy. 911 is still a 911, even though they've made it better, lighter, faster, cooler, stop better. It still is a 911. It looks like a 911, is a 911. I wanted the Newport and the Newport 2 to still be a Newport 2, but how can we make it better, sleeker, sexier? And learning through the years on tour, like an I-beam neck to remove weight. It's a cool way to do it, it's a cool look. I love, as you can tell in here, industrial mechanical design. So the I-beam neck, and the goal was, okay, how can we do it better and not screw it up? I'd hate to hand a putter to Justin Thomas from going, this looks nothing like a Newport 2. It'd break my heart. So we have really done a great job, I believe, in taking the Newport 2 and always making it better. But there was areas in this, hey, how do we break it down? How do we make it better? And it was, let's remove weight where we don't want it and put it into places we do want it. Simple stuff, for example. So how do you go from the name Special Select to Super Select? Well, we're kind of supercharging it. We're taking something that's great already and making it better. Removing weight and putting it where we want it, which on the Newport 2, we put it under the soles. We always have balancing ports down there where you take off the weights and you're gonna see all kinds of intricate milling in there. Take the weight from the back of the neck, the front of the neck, even in a little notch, it came from the mil spec putter from years ago, removing that weight. So when you do a lie angle bend, it bends at its weakest point. So we can concentrate that bend there on the lower necks and the longer necks or standard necks. We have that notch. That notch is a weak spot. Well, hang on, if it's weak, it's gonna bend. Hang on, it's not that weak. But if you're going to do a lie angle up or back, it's going to be a focus bend there, thus removing weight. So out of the neck, the weight's gone that we didn't really need, but we still have the strength. Now we could skinny up the neck on both sides, but then it's weak. By putting an I-beam, we keep a structure and keep it strong, but remove weight. On the back bombs, kind of tired of the cherry bombs in the back. Again, mechanical industrial looks. There's just so much thoughts on this. For example, cherry bombs in the back. We had last year's, we had rings in the back. The reason for that, some of the players, the cherry bombs would wear away in the middle and leave a ring. Boom. Nicknamed Lifesaver. We milled out that to a deeper pocket. Well, why don't you just mill the pocket out and go deeper? Because it loses sound and sound is feel. So I wanted to have the bombs because when you go 3 holes, we keep the ribs. So we keep the thickness of the pocket, but we go in for weight removal to get those deeper. On the outside of those holes, we have frames. Well, we don't have to do that. It just adds a depth. I wanted a depth of a deep pocket, but the pocket really isn't that deep. The bombs are deep, the pocket's not. Again, we could mill areas out to have it sound and feel proper. Milling. The face. Learn from the tour. The deeper the mill, the more harsh it looks. We can balance out sound and feel by milling a face. We don't have to change materials. Through years of experience on tour, this feels good, this doesn't. But really it comes down to what golf ball are you using? Because that plays into it also. But feel is in the eye of the beholder. We listen from the tour, we listen to the greats, and okay, we can change this, we can do this, we can add this. But the goal in this was how do we do it better and not change the Newport or Newport 2 into something where a guy's gonna say, you screwed it up. So the face milling, we took the deep mill, and we basically have a deep mill, which creates these high spots, and we basically lower those. There's more contact with a golf ball now than there was on a deep mill. Changing a feel. Does it change performance of spin, roller? No. Performance-wise in sound and feel. So we're able to fine-tune the milling on the face for sound and feel. We're able to remove weight in the pocket and the neck and put that underneath the weights. It's a better product. It's more forgiving. Other changes looking at the product. A lot of guys loved the square back and fast back, but I had a few guys say, or girls, say, too wide, too skinny, can we come with a tweener? So in the design, took the top line, the mid area, top line, mid area, third area. I'll talk about a 1, 2, 3. So we stretch the top line a little bit, we stretch the secondary a little bit, and we stretch the third. But what I want to do, that top line is soft and radius. Why do you do that? Because when it's flat, it looks harsh and flat like a flat brick. I want it to look like a river rock, and it looks soft, and then I want it to come off and rolling, melting to the ground the second area. Then I give a radius before it falls off the second area into the third. Well, I got a flat spot on the third, and flat always looks slow and harsh. But look at the big radius I pulled off the back, so if I pour water, it rolls off 1, comes down 2, and settle off 3 of a melting effect. So that melting effect, I got a lot of guys on tour loving that melting effect. It looks soft, it looks pleasant to the eye. So by making something bigger, I don't want it to look more lethargic. I want it to look like it was meant to be. Most would have just added off the back, 1 and 2 stayed the same, and 3 was just extended. Well, then it doesn't look pleasing or proportionate to the eye. So all the attention to detail on this, of the radiuses. I mean, the attention to detail. For example, I have a step in here. The original always had a step, but you would think, well, it might be cleaner, take out the step. You got a big blank area and your eye just gets stuck in this blank area. So I continued, but what I did do, I have more of a radius. Why? I want it to roll and melt into the ground. Okay, Scotty, so you made it wider. Well, if I made it wider, it's gonna be too heavy. So with the sole plate, 6061 aircraft aluminum, mills very nice. It doesn't tear, it doesn't rip, so it mills nice, it's lighter weight. So I've taken out the steel, put in, I couldn't have done this with having all steel. I would have to mill out the pocket to remove weight, then the sound gets affected and the feel gets affected. So by using the aluminum, we're able to achieve this. So the head's the same weight as a Newport 2, but it's much wider. Not much wider, a little wider. So we go from proper, a little wider, to the square back being the widest. The further we can get the weight back, better off we are. Okay, I'm jumping back and forth, but on the Newport 2, we have tungsten weights. On this product, we don't. And the reason for that, I cleaned up and made the top line thinner and the putter to be more elegant. It was getting lethargic in its look. So I cleaned it up, made it sleeker, made it thinner, made it sexier. Weight was too light. So the skinny models have tungsten. The wider do not. So the tweeners, which are the new plus models, are wider with aluminum with stainless steel weights. Here's one that we haven't done before. 2 grips offered on 1 line. I think that grips complement a putter. I think that bigger putter heads, wider mallet style, deserve a bigger grip, but not so big that you pick it up and you think, it doesn't match. I think that a grip complements the head. So the tweeners have the smaller grips, and they're not small at all, they're proper. But then when we get into a little wider, getting into the mallet family, we have a pistolero, which is more of a pistol grip, and we have a smaller grip, the pistolini, on all of the smaller size to complement. So the goal is when you walk into a shop and you feel it, everything speaks to you. And you're not sure why you love it, you just know that you love it. Silly things, and it is. But again, we tore this thing apart, and how do we do it better? And on tour, I got guys wanting this shaft, this shaft, this shaft. These are the shafts. What made those special? So we worked on a shaft many of years ago and came up with a step shaft. In the old days, guys would use a 9-inch pattern step. So we dialed in the shaft, spent a lot of time on the shaft. My eyes got stuck on steps. So I wanted the same shaft, no steps, and smooth. Why do you want it smooth? Because my eyes don't get stuck at each step going down the shaft. Well, that's ridiculous. No. If you're trying to do it better, you look at every aspect. We have a great shaft and a great feel. And guys kind of like it, because we won 40% of all PGA Tour events last year with this shaft. On the grips, you know how most grips have a band, a paint groove on the cap and down here? I look down and I get stuck there. I don't want to see anything stopping my eye. Most people put a shaft band around it this way. My eye gets stuck. I put it on the back. I don't want to see that when I'm at a dress. So rethinking every aspect of the new Super Select line, from the grip, from the shaft band, to the shaft, to the color, to the pocket depth, to where it bends. It's super. The Super Select. So we have models everywhere from blades to tweeners, which is a plus models, into the square back, into the new Golo. You know, out on tour, I have a full staff that does a heck of a job, but I'll go out and what's going on, how can I do it better, how can we create things quicker, what finishes, what sandblasting. Golos, 5 in play. The week I was out there, Hawaiian Open, I'm like, it's not going away. It's not going away. We're getting more requests, and in my tour department, I'm out of heads. I've got to retool to make more Golos. If it's that popular, why don't we stick it in the line? So it is a Super Select Golo. The Golo, we used to have a 7 and we had a 5. Car fan, we had originally a 7 and a 5, because at that time, guys were asking for big heads, more MOI. But then guys were like, this is a little cumbersome, can we get it smaller? So I went to a 5 size. We took both those models and made it a 6. So we took the best of both worlds and made it a 6. Great size. So we took the best of the Golo of the past, and we're bringing it new into the future with the same technologies of the weighting, of the aluminum sole plate, of the milled face, of the notch to where it bends, the Golo 6.5 low slant neck, I-beam necks, mil-spec notch. So everything we did to everything else we brought into this family also. So it's new, it's improved, it's not going away. So let's just bring it into the line because it's a heck of a product. So the Super Select covers from blades into mallets and everything in between. Innovation, design, sound, feel, and everything is milled right here. I have my foundries that we have 1 mile and 2 miles away. I'm not in China, I'm not in Mexico, I'm not in Taiwan, I'm here. And my goal, if my name's on it, it's going to be the very best I could possibly make. A bit more expensive, but my goal when doing this, it's well worth it. From its attention to detail, its products, its craftsmen, its materials, and being milled here. It's a heck of a product, and I'm proud to bring this at this time because we've learned so much. We've had so many wins on tour. We gained confidence and knowledge, and we put it into our next products. So, the new Super Select. It's a hell of a product.